This video is going to give you an introduction to ActiveDEMAND, the integrated marketing platform. I'm going to give you a few slides, and then after the slides, I'm going to give you a quick case study of how it will show how ActiveDEMAND is used. So online marketing today presents some wonderful opportunities, but definitely there are many marketing challenges that face the demand generation expert today. To begin with, if you think about the clients that doesn't matter what you're selling or marketing or trying to sell, if you think about it from the client's perspective, every person who's purchasing anything, service, product, what have you, they all want the same thing, is they want to have the best product for the money that they spend. And really what they want to do is become, I guess, an expert so they feel confident about whatever it is that they're purchasing. So today there's lots of information available to folks, specifically if they're using, for example, Google or online, etc. So they'll go searching, they'll flit around from site to site, I guess indication which product or service is the right one for their money. They'll look at social media, they'll look at what their friends are doing, etc. But the one thing that's for certain is that none of the people today, when they're looking online, they typically trust nothing, right? And not only do they trust nothing, is that marketers typically make it much harder to build trust. And how marketers do this is they'll typically, it's common problems that most marketers face is inconsistent messaging, inconsistent response time, inconsistent branding. Anytime that a marketer makes these mistakes, they actually make it harder on themselves, and they don't build trust, they actually erode trust. And if we think about another challenge that is facing marketers today, is if you think about the buyer that's flitting around from site to page, etc., while they're anonymous, it's the case that you, as a marketer, really you're inferring what the visitor is doing. You're not actually involved in the buying process. So I argue that anonymity is the enemy of the modern marketer. See, when they're anonymous, you don't know really if what stage of the buyer journey they're on, what questions are being asked. They could be looking at your website and you could see that somebody hit the website and get some very generic stats about the person, but really you're guessing as to what questions they're asking when they're consuming a specific asset or looking at a specific page. The reality is, while they're anonymous, you are not engaged in the conversation with the prospective buyer. But once anonymity is removed, you can now engage in a conversation, right? You can actually be in control of the conversation, so you can assist in the buyer journey. Another challenge that's facing all marketers is, let's face it, marketing is a ton of manual effort, right? There's a lot of the work that's done by marketers today is repetitive. Typically, you're going to have to do reporting, this type of stuff, and the reality is that anything that requires manual labor, you're prone to make mistakes. The more manual labor intensive the task is, the higher probability that mistakes are made. And if you're making mistakes, you're back to the first slide, which is really you're back to eroding trust as a marketer. And finally, attribution. It's a case that all marketers are given budgets either from their internal constituents, or if they're an agency, it's from clients. And today somebody's paying for the marketing activities, and many marketers the pace setters definitely are somewhat scientists. They want to know what works and what's not, so they can spend more time and money on the things that's working and less time and money on the things that are not working. And hence, attribution is a key element in the marketing process. We need to understand what results you're actually getting, and you need to be able to demonstrate value delivered to the constituents who are paying for the marketing activities. So really the solution to all of these problems is the same, and the solution is automation. And really, if you think about automation in the manufacturing space, they've been automating manufacturing for many, many years. And why they've automated manufacturing is to really is to reduce variability, increase consistency. Once the variability is reduced, increase throughput and transform the role of humans in the manufacturing process, from laborers to information workers. And the same story goes for marketing. It's really, of course, there's no way to remove all the manual labor, but if you're going to be doing manual labor, clearly you want to get the most reuse out of it as possible. And automation is the answer. And really, it transforms the role of the marketer from that of a laborer to really doing what matters most, is being creative. Now, there's lots of tools out there to help you with the automation process. There's social tools for the social media marketing, there's email tools, there's web tools, there's survey tools, etc. But what you find with the multi-tool approach is you end up juggling a ton of tools. And all of these tools, although they do an exceptional job at the niche offering that they provide, the reality is they don't actually work well together. They work like a collection, I guess, of musicians that just show up and meet each other for the first time and start playing songs that are pulled out of the hat, as opposed to a seasoned band or an orchestra that are playing in harmony. And the reality is, as well, is that if you have to understand what's going on, really analytics become extremely difficult because the data is captured and embedded in each of these individual tools. So you're spending a lot of time with spreadsheets, etc., trying to understand what's working from a marketing perspective. And hence, really, the concept of an integrated marketing platform, which is ActiveDEMAND. ActiveDEMAND has all of the marketing tools baked in to a single platform. So it's got the social media marketing tools, email marketing tools, outstanding landing pages, and one of the hottest leads that any organization can get is the phone call. So it's got, really, if you're not tracking your phone calls, you're really missing a key piece of the attribution story, and hence call tracking is baked into the platform. And all of these pieces together, it has native integration to Google AdWords and Google Webmaster Tools and Google Analytics, etc. But really, right at the top, as you see, is the analytics. Because all of the tools are in one tool belt, it makes it so that you can actually see what's going on with the multi-channel marketing approach. So it's really the tool set: email marketing, landing pages, social posting, website tracking, integrated reporting, great dashboards, and definitely the anonymity killer is call tracking, robocalls, SMS, etc. So really, all the tools, one platform, really helps you with the marketing intelligence to help you become a more intelligent marketer. And it's more cost effective to be pulling all of the tools into one tool belt. And really, the pitch here is to stop juggling and to start marketing. Now I'm going to switch things over and show you a basic case study with the use of this, of ActiveDEMAND. So if you imagine, let's say that your company sells windows, and it's a case that you want to provide some good use of your marketing money. So really, what you really want to do is find a marketing program that removes the anonymity of as many people as possible who, with reasonable certainty, will be in a position to be buying windows or will be buying windows in the future. And if you think about, let's say your client base is residential homeowners, well, clearly window purchase happens within a renovation cycle. So you're spending on radio ads, and let's dump it into, let's say, a sweepstakes, a renovation sweepstakes, because let's face it, a renovation sweepstakes, it's targeting the exact niche market, the homeowners, and it's also the case that if you get these people to register for the survey, you can work with these prospects through the buyer journey to when they're ready to be buying a window, vendor windows will be top of mind. So with this type of a campaign, what you really want to do is drive the people to a landing page. So the landing page, instead of driving them to the vendor windows' website, let's face it, there's too much going on there. There's all the different windows, all of this stuff, but this specific initiative is about killing the anonymity of as many homeowners as possible, and then come up with a story down the road about how vendor windows is the best. So we'll target this whole campaign on a landing page, and we'll drive people to this landing page, and let's face it, the value offer is quite high, so most folks will be happy to fill out a form, and in fact a high friction form, to get at the chance to win the $25,000. So this specific landing page is built in ActiveDEMAND. Everything in ActiveDEMAND is fully responsive. So definitely it's important that the people, when they hit the page, it's a case that doesn't matter what device they're consuming the content on, that the pages look great and adjust to the different screen sizes. So when you look at this landing page, and we'll go into the builder, this is the ActiveDEMAND builder. And this landing page builder, fully drag and drop. And even though it's drag and drop and in-place edit, and what you see is what you get, it actually gives you a lot of power. So for example, if you see this banner, it's massive, and the banner, let's face it, it doesn't look great on a small screen. So what we've done is we've taken the background image on this row, and all attributes on the rows, whether it's styles, colors, etc., you have the option to change which size of screen that the attribute actually comes into play. So this banner, we removed it on the small screen, and then what we've done is on the larger screens, I should say the smaller screens, we've introduced a smaller image that just shows up on the small screen here. So really it's a case with the page builder, you get full access to not only how the styles evolve for the different page sizes, you also have the ability to change how the pages fold. And what I mean by folding is how the columns fold, which columns dominate, which content blocks appear and disappear based on the screen size. Embedded in the product, of course, is a form builder, and the form builder is, again, drag and drop. So very easy to build out forms, surveys, etc. So this high friction form that we built here is all built, and again, it's just purely drag and drop to build the form. Each form has an autoresponder, and the autoresponder is a workflow that processes whoever fills out the form. So this specific form fill, we're really just going to send an email to the prospect saying thank you for signing up to the sweepstakes, and it's a case that we will send them into a specific list. But we could do all kinds of things. We can set tags. We can post to Google Analytics as an event, etc. And we can send a series of emails. It's not the right place to do a drip campaign, but you get the idea. You have a lot of power in the workflows for the autoresponders. Now I'm going to show you the campaign itself. So this campaign, we'll do an email campaign. We'll do some social media posts trying to drive people to that landing page. We'll also do some paid ads, etc. But what I want to highlight here is the ability to do social media posting right inside ActiveDEMAND. So really what you're doing is you drag the tweet or drag the LinkedIn post or bulk import the posts or blog posts or social media posts, etc. And it will just post them off into the future based on this. And of course the email. You know, we can also build out an email for the current email database. So it's a case that if we look at the email builder, it's the same as the page builder. And really what you'll see here, again, drag and drop, full access to the media queries for, again, a responsive email experience. And we can also do what's called conditional sends, because maybe with the prospects, we're trying to get the people to fill out the form, but maybe they have a bunch of customers. So what we'll do is we'll create a separate version of the email that targets just the customers in the entire contact database, and we'll send them a message that is more aligned to, you know, maybe refer a friend. Right? And if you look here, the send logic, we can actually build queries for the multiple versions of the email to ensure that the right content is getting to the right prospect or customer or what have you. So you don't have to run a whole bunch of different campaigns, each with a different set of constituents. You can actually use the conditional send to get the right targeted content to the right recipient. You can as well do multivariate testing, split testing, etc. But again, it's a very easy to use builder is the point here. you can as well do, because we have integrated call tracking, MMS messaging. So you can actually schedule an MMS message, that's a SMS message with images to the prospects or contacts within the contact database that have which you have the cell phones for. And if we think about this as well, there's a social aspect. Maybe anybody who's following us on Twitter, this is the drip campaign using, again, the workflow builder. Very visual, very easy to see what the workflow looks like. You have decisions and you have actions that you drag and drop onto the canvas and connect them with wires. So anybody who follows us on Twitter, we're going to send them a direct message telling them about the campaign. We'll wait a week. We'll know whether or not these folks have registered for the sweepstakes. And if they haven't, we're going to send them another message prompting them to go to the and register for the campaign. And once they've registered, what we're going to do is we're going to send a series of emails that are home improvement tips, because clearly everybody who signed up for the sweepstakes are interested in home improvement. So we'll send them a stream of emails that gives them some tips about home improvement, and clearly there's going to be some type of a window focus in these emails. So for example, this email that I'm showing you here is going to talk about painting. But of course, we're going to as well introduce the concept of the windows in the story as well. And we can continue down, sending out several emails in time. And again, the idea is to keep the vendor windows brand front and center. And then once they've actually bought the windows, what we're interested in is trying to get them to share their experience with vendor windows, with the vendor windows experience with their social networks. Because let's face it, other folks are interested in buying windows, and if they're going to take a look at their social networks, it'd be great to have some positive reviews in social media to help with the next sale of the windows. Of course, we're only going to send folks to social media if they're happy, because let's face it, not every customer is going to be completely satisfied with vendor windows. And of course, vendor windows is going to strive to do better and make every customer happy. But definitely we don't want to send the unhappy customers to social media. We want to send only the happy customers. So how we're going to do it is we're going to send the prospects to a survey form. And the survey form, again, is a landing page in ActiveDEMAND. And once they fill out the survey, we're going to actually look at the star rating, because if it's a high star rating, we can presume that the prospect liked the experience with vendor windows. And if it's a low star rating, we'll assume that they're not so happy. So if you remember, each form has an autoresponder workflow. So in this workflow, we can actually query to see said in the survey, and we can look specifically at the slider. And if the slider was greater than or equal to 4, we'll send these folks an email that says, thank you for your feedback. We consider sharing this feedback that you've given us with social media. So we'll have the links to their social media accounts here to get these folks to, again, we'll ask these folks to share their joy with vendor windows to their social networks. And if they're not so happy, then of course we're going to send them a different email, and we'll of course send them to customer care. But the second email is going to remove the mention of social media and just thank them for their feedback. So in the drip campaign, because we have integrated email marketing, we're going to, of course, send them a nice HTML email. The HTML email will say thank you for your purchase, and if it's a case that they don't fill out that form that we have set up for them, we're going to send another email in 5 days, and it'll be a plain text email that'll sort of look like their salesperson, Willie Loman's, forwarding this email that they sent. And then a week later, if they still haven't done it, we'll do one last effort, and we'll say, hey, just give us your 2 cents. We're going to stop bugging you if you don't fill out the if you don't want to fill out the form right now. So now we're going to deal with the situation of let's say the prospect bought the windows but didn't pay for them. So we're going to put them into accounts receivable, and we're going to have a drip campaign that tries to get them to gently tries to get them to pay for the windows. So what we're going to do is we're going to send an email. The email is going to say, look, it's probably on our side. It's not your side. If you paid, ignore this email. And if it's a case that if you haven't paid, please pay. And if it will wait a week, and if they've opened the email, Well, because we have integrated call tracking, we can actually do a robocall, right? So we can actually go in, we can actually automatically call the prospect, and we can put them into this endless loop of calling until they actually pay for the windows. So really, what I'm trying to demonstrate here is that the drip campaigns, it's not just emails. You can do social media posts, direct message campaigns, as well as MMS campaigns, etc., using ActiveDEMAND right inside the drip campaign. And finally, it's the reporting. So the reporting piece, really how ActiveDEMAND automates the reporting is we have an automated email system that leverages, again, the email builder, which is the same builder as the page builder. But what we give you access to in the report builder is all of the data portlets or widgets, and literally you drag and drop the widgets into your email, and you can build out an entire marketing report, and you can have, let's say daily lead roll-ups or call roll-ups or what have you. But when the report is sent, it references the date range of the report, and the widgets can either directly link to the date range, or they can override, so you can compare this month versus last month. And then when the email is sent, the report actually fills out the data for the specific time range. So this gives you a very quick overview of how ActiveDEMAND can be used to automate a demand generation program.